I'm going to say something right now that's going to sound insane. Hear me out. The New York Mets might be one move away from taking over baseball in 2026. One move away. And I'm not talking about a small move. I'm talking about a trade that could completely change the league. And at the same time, we could be looking at a first-time World Series champion, a powerhouse team missing the playoffs completely, and a young superstar about to explode into MVP conversation. So today, we're breaking down the boldest predictions for the 2026 MLB season. And I promise you, these are the takes people are going to be arguing about all year long. Let's start with the craziest prediction of them all. Tarik Skubal gets traded to no other than my New York Mets. Yeah, and I know what you're thinking. That didn't happen. Exactly. But here's why this prediction refuses to go away. Because it actually makes too much sense. The Mets are in win now mode. They have money. They have urgency. And they need a true ace to anchor everything. Now look at the Detroit Tigers. Talented? Absolutely. But also kind of stuck in the middle. Not bad enough to rebuild, not dominant enough to run the league. And here's where it gets interesting. If the Tigers struggle early, if they're hovering around 500, now you got pressure. Now you got questions. Now you got a decision to make. And that's where the Mets step in. Because this wouldn't be a small deal. The Mets would have to give up something real. We're talking about a name like Jonathan, a legit prospect. But here's the thing. You don't hesitate if you're the Mets because adding Skubal changes everything. Now your rotation goes from good to terrifying. And this is where things get scary because even without that trade, the Mets are already being projected to have the best rotation depth in baseball. Let me say that again. The deepest rotation in the MLB. You're talking Nolan McLean, Freddie Parada, Kodai Senga, David Peterson, Sean Manaea, Clay Holmes. That's 6 legit starters. And then behind them, more options, more arms, more depth. That's how you win in today's MLB. Because it's not about your top 3 anymore. It's about your top 8, your top 10. And the Mets, they might have more usable starters than anyone. This is what people don't understand. Depth wins championships. Not stars, not hype. Depth. Because over a 162-game season, injuries happen, slumps happen, fatigue happens. And if you don't have depth, you collapse. The Mets, they're built to survive all of that. Now here's where it gets bold. The Mets beat the Los Angeles Dodgers and the NLCS. Yeah, that Dodgers team. The one everyone assumes is going back to the World Series. Here's why this isn't crazy. Because every year, there's a team that comes out of nowhere. Historically, a ton of World Series teams didn't even make the playoffs the year before. So if you're looking for that surprise team, it might not be a small market underdog. It might be my Mets. Now let's flip it. Every year, there's also a team that disappoints. And this year, it might be the Philadelphia Phillies. And I'm not saying that because they're a rival team. I'm looking at articles, I'm reading, I'm understanding, and I'm agreeing. Because they're hosting an all-star game. But recent history, not kind to those teams. We've seen contenders fall apart. And when you look at the Phillies, there are concerns. Aging roster, relying on young players stepping up, pressure of expectation. And that combination can go bad, fast. Now let's talk about a name you need to know. Junior Caminero. Because this guy might be a future MVP finalist. He already hit 45 home runs at 22 years old. Let that sink in. And if he takes another step, we're talking about one of the most dangerous hitters in baseball. And finally, the boldest prediction of them all. Seattle Mariners will win the World Series. A franchise that never done it before. Finally breaking through. And when you look at their roster, it actually makes sense. Balanced lineup, strong pitching, young talent. They've been close before. Now, it might be their time. All right, I need to know what you think. Be honest. Are the Mets actually about to take over the National League? Or is this all hype? And bigger question, who's winning the World Series in 2026? Drop your predictions in the comments, because if even half of this happens this season, it's going to be insane. See you guys on the next one.